J.D.Vance, Trump's running mate, faced a challenging start as the campaign had to clean up his past controversial comments. Until the last moment, some close to former President Donald Trump were still trying to persuade him not to choose Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as his running mate. On a flight with Trump to Milwaukee to attend the Republican National Convention in mid-July, Senator Lindsey Graham argued that Senator Marco Rubio was a better choice. Graham suggested that the Cuban-American senator could attract more votes in battleground states. He tried to convince others on the flight to support this idea. Another advisor called Trump a few days earlier, saying that Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin or Rubio would be better choices, citing Vance's anti-abortion comments. This person asked Trump how he could defend some of the senator's stances that seemed more right-wing than his own. In the 48 hours before Trump announced his running mate, several senators, donors, conservative media figures, and supporters called Trump, expressing support for a candidate other than Vance, according to 5 sources familiar with the matter. The former president listened to each person's opinion, but he had sided with Vance for weeks, even months. Trump liked Vance's policy positions on economics, foreign affairs, and his strong television appearances. Trump later said that Vance was a tough choice, but explained the decision was to ensure the future of the Republican Party in the event of his departure. "He will be a superstar in the future," he told delegates and donors. In the 2 weeks since then, President Joe Biden announced his withdrawal from the race, and Vice President Kamala Harris became the replacement candidate. These moves energized the Democrats. Meanwhile, Vance had a rough start. Trump's campaign spent recent days trying to clean up Vance's past controversial comments, including interviews where he mocked childless women or expressed harsher views on abortion than the former president. In a 2022 podcast, Vance supported a federal measure to restrict women from traveling to other states for abortions. Vance also had leaked emails exchanged with a friend from 2014-2017, in which Vance said he hated the police because they didn't treat people right. He also said Trump was morally reprehensible, adding that the more white people vote for Trump, the more people of color suffer. Vance had been part of the group that wanted to prevent Trump from securing the Republican nomination in 2016, but had changed his stance in recent years. Many doubted Trump's choice, wondering if the former president's gamble would backfire. Some Republican strategists worried that Vance could damage Trump's ability to win votes from suburban women, often married, affluent, educated, a group he had significantly lost support from in the 2020 election. Stephen Chung, Trump's campaign spokesman, defended Vance. He said the criticism only came from people who don't understand what's going on. Trump's campaign aides said the former president still had great faith in Vance. The two appeared together at a fundraising event in Mar-a-Lago on the evening of July 25th and at a campaign rally in Minnesota on July 27. Vance flew to Oklahoma on July 26 to attend a fundraising event with oil tycoon Harold Hamm and successfully raised $2 million. Trump's running mate had a busy schedule fundraising in the Midwest. Trump's campaign was also pleased with Vance's sharp attacks against Harris in recent speeches. President Trump is very excited to choose Senator Vance as his running mate, and they are the perfect team to win back the White House, Chung said. Advisors said Trump knew Vance had criticized him in the past. Trump's team was also aware of some of Vance's noteworthy comments. During the vetting process for a running mate, the former president's top advisors watched many interviews, read Vance's books, and asked the senator many questions. Vance's rocky start was seen as a positive for Harris's campaign, according to aides. Her campaign was trying to highlight Vance's past comments, such as his stance on abortion, something Trump often tried to avoid. William Martin, Vance's campaign spokesman, said it was no surprise that Democrats attacked Vance. Martin said the Republican vice presidential candidate planned to highlight the Biden administration's record on inflation and immigration. "Those are the issues that voters really care about, no matter how much the left-wing media wants to change it," Martin said. The Ohio senator also had influential supporters, including Trump's eldest son Donald Trump Jr., prominent journalist Tucker Carlson, and tech billionaires, including Elon Musk. One of Trump's goals in choosing Vance was to have a candidate from the Midwest to solidify support in battleground state Pennsylvania and attract blue-collar voters. Trump was underperforming with white men compared to expectations, and Vance was believed to help address that. Another goal was to leverage Vance's donor network, including in Silicon Valley. J.D.Vance was once a Silicon Valley investor and had many connections with the tech industry, particularly close to Peter Thiel, former CEO of PayPal. But for many Republicans, Vance seemed like a bad choice. He is the worst choice of all the options. It's worse than I could have imagined. Anti-Ukraine, populist, he doesn't help Trump, a Republican member of the House said. Another congressman even suggested that if Trump lost to Harris in November, the main reason would be choosing Vance. Nevertheless, Vance still received significant support from hardline conservatives. Congressman Chip Roy, who had supported Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the Republican primary, backed Trump's decision.